Every dream worth chasing demands a price. The world doesn't hand out greatness like free samples. It demands sacrifice, sweat, and sometimes even blood. When you commit to your dream, you're signing up for war. Not against others, but against every excuse, every weakness, every fear that lives within you. You've got to be ready to bleed for it. Because if you're not willing to suffer for your vision, then you don't really want it. It's easy to talk big when things are going well. It's easy to say you want it when there's no pain. But the real test comes when the world turns its back on you. When the journey becomes lonely, when you're tired, broken, and tempted to quit. That's the moment champions are born. That's when warriors rise. Not in comfort, but in chaos. If your dream means everything to you, then treat it like it does. Fight for it. Sacrifice for it. Bleed for it. Because that's the price of greatness. And if you're not willing to pay it, someone else will. Then they'll live the life you were too scared to fight for. The ones who bleed for their dreams are the ones who own their destiny. They're not looking for shortcuts or easy wins. They understand that every scar tells a story of resilience. Every failure is a chapter in the book of eventual victory. You can either live in the safety of mediocrity or walk through the fire toward a life that sets your soul on fire. There is no in between. The universe doesn't reward lukewarm commitment. It rewards the relentless, the fearless, the ones who keep swinging when the world says stop. You don't get to dream big and work small. That's not how transformation works. Your effort must match your ambition. Your hustle must mirror your hunger. And your sacrifices must echo the size of your dream. You've got to outwork your doubt, outlast your setbacks, and outfight your limitations. That's the mentality of a dreamer who bleeds. That's the mindset of someone who's decided that their life will not be dictated by fear, failure, or fatigue, but by fire, fight, and faith. You will bleed. That's not a possibility. It's a promise. If you want something extraordinary, you will be tested in extraordinary ways. You will feel pain in places you didn't know existed. You will face days when your energy runs dry and your heart wants to collapse. But that pain isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's the universe asking, how bad do you want it? Every drop of sweat, every tear shed in silence, every step taken after your legs gave out. That's what builds the unbreakable version of you. The dream isn't supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would be living theirs. But they're not. Because most people tap out when the bleeding starts. They want the success, but not the scars. They want the victory, but not the battles. But you, if you're serious, must embrace the blood, the bruises, and the brutal truths. You must train your mind to rise when your body falls. Because in the end, it's not the most talented who win. It's the most relentless. The ones who refuse to stay down. You've got to be willing to go where most won't. That's the difference between dreaming and doing. Most people stop at discomfort. But you, if you bleed for your dream, must keep going long after comfort has left the building. You've got to train in the dark for a moment that may never come, yet still believe it will. You've got to plant seeds knowing storms are coming and still water them with faith. The pain you feel isn't meant to destroy you. It's meant to define you. It's the fire that burns away weakness, excuses, and mediocrity, until all that's left is your raw, authentic power. You don't need applause to believe in yourself. You don't need a crowd to validate your vision. You just need a reason that's bigger than your excuses. A dream that makes bleeding worth it. Because the greatest dreams demand the greatest price, but they also give the greatest return. So bleed with pride. Bleed with purpose. Because one day your wounds will become your wisdom, and the world will witness what was once just a dream. Your dream doesn't care about your comfort zone. It doesn't care if you're tired, afraid, or uncertain. It demands everything from you. Your time, your energy, your soul. And when you give it that, it will reward you with something even greater, fulfillment. But only if you don't quit. Only if you show up on the days you want to disappear. Only if you fight on the days when defeat feels inevitable. That's what it means to bleed for your dreams. It means taking every punch life throws at you and still pushing forward. It means believing when no one else does. It means standing tall in storms that were designed to break you. You've got to be your own rescue, your own spark, your own savior. No one's coming to carry you across the finish line. This fight is yours. This mountain is yours. And when you reach the top, bleeding and breathless, you'll understand it was never about ease. It was about evolution. The journey didn't break you. It built you. And that's a victory no one can ever take away. There will be nights when the silence screams louder than your dreams. When the weight of your ambition feels too heavy to carry. When the distance between where you are and where you want to be feels endless. In those moments, you will be tempted to let go. But hold the line. This is the part of the story that will define you. The part where legends are born, not because they were fearless, but because they acted in spite of fear. Because they bled with purpose. Because they showed up even when the world gave them every reason not to. Your dream doesn't require perfection. It requires perseverance. It doesn't need you to always be strong. It just needs you to never stop. So cry if you must. Break down if you must. But never stop. Never give up on something that sets your soul on fire. Because that fire is your calling. That fire is your truth. And if you follow it with everything you've got, one day you'll look back and realize you didn't just chase a dream. You became the person who could catch it. You are not here to live a life of regret. You are not here to wonder, what if when it's all over? You are here to become everything you're capable of becoming. And that journey starts with the decision to fight for your dreams, with everything inside you, to bleed, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Every time you push beyond your limits, you expand your power. Every time you rise after a fall, you build your legacy. People may not see your struggle. They may not understand your grind, but that's okay. Your dream wasn't given to them. It was given to you. It lives in your chest. It breathes with your heartbeat. And if you want to honor that gift, you must protect it with your life. Be the person who chose purpose over popularity, who chose growth over comfort, who chose to bleed now so they could live free later. Because the price of your dream will always be high, but the cost of regret will be even higher. Choose your pain. Choose the path that leads to your greatness. The world needs people who bleed for something bigger than themselves. People who live with conviction, who pursue their vision like oxygen. You weren't born to fit in. You were born to rise, to lead, to break the chains of average. But that path isn't paved with ease. It's soaked in sacrifice. You'll lose sleep, friends, and sometimes even your sense of certainty. But what you gain is worth far more. Confidence, courage, clarity, and character. You'll discover what you're really made of when everything comfortable is stripped away. And you'll realize you are far more powerful than you ever imagined. That's the reward of bleeding for your dream. Not just the outcome, but the transformation. You become unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. You become fearless, not because there's no fear, but because you refuse to be ruled by it. So stand tall, walk proud. Let the world see your wounds. They are not your weakness. They are your witness. Proof that you dare to live a life few even dream of. When you bleed for your dream, you stop negotiating with your potential. You stop making excuses for why it's not your time, why it's too hard, or why you're not ready. You stop shrinking to fit the expectations of small minds. Because warriors don't beg for approval. They build empires in silence. You've got to develop an obsession with progress. You've got to become addicted to growth. Every setback is fuel. Every loss is a lesson. Every moment of pain is preparing you for a future. Only the bold will see. And let's be clear. This isn't just about achieving goals. It's about becoming someone you respect. Someone who keeps their promises to themselves. Someone who walks into every room carrying the weight of their commitment, not the burden of their excuses. That kind of person bleeds, not because they have to, but because they choose to, because the dream demands it. And because deep down, they know if they don't fight for their dream, they'll spend their life haunted by what could have been. Let the world call you crazy. Let them doubt you, laugh at you, walk away from you. That's fine. Just don't let them outwork you. Don't let them outlast you. Don't let them outbleed you. Because that's where dreams are won or lost. Not in talent, but in tenacity. Not in applause, but in discipline. When you bleed for your dream, you become a force the world can't ignore. You speak with your actions. You lead by example. And eventually, the same people who doubted you will be forced to respect you. But that's not why you do it. You do it because something inside you refuses to settle. Something inside you believes that you were born to rise. So rise, get back up, push through the fatigue, embrace the pain, bleed for your dream. Because in the end, the blood will dry, the pain will fade, the bruises will heal. But the legacy you build, the life you create, the person you become, that will last forever.